Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. We're here today on Sunday with our Cabral HouseCalls. It's our second podcast of the weekend, which is dedicated to answering your questions, our community's questions, each and every week. Happy to have you with me here today and excited to get into the show. So today we are going to answer 6 more questions. Looking forward to those. Opening up the big Ask Cabral document right now. As I always say, if you're looking for same-day answers, please do write in to cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free private Facebook group. And you can always reach our amazing team at support@equa.life, EQUI.LIFE. I mean, really, I've never seen a customer care department respond faster and with, as appropriate help as needed. So truly recommend connecting with them too. But if you'd like me to answer your question live here on the podcast, always happy to. And if they get answered about 6 to 7 weeks later, just because we're backlogged with about 6 to 7 weeks of questions. So without spending any further time on the intro, let's get right into why we are here today, and that is to answer your questions. So first question today is from Lindsey. Lindsey saying, hello, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for all you do. For the last year, I've gotten many Chilazens on both eyes. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, I don't even know if that's the correct pronunciation. Chilazens. Sometimes I don't know the pronunciation of a lot of these things because I've read them in textbooks, I've read them in different manuals, I've read them in research, but a lot of these things you just never hear said out loud. Who knows? But really what it is a bump typically on the eyelid. So if you see sometimes people get a little bump on that eyelid, I'm going to give a little bit better explanation in just a moment, but a little bump on the eyelid. Almost like a sty. Keep that in mind, all right? Sometimes you get a sty, you get a little conjunctivitis, similar family, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. At this moment, I have 3 on one eye and 1 on the other. I do the hot compresses every day with no effect. After seeing many doctors, one finally diagnosed me with ocular rosacea. Unfortunately, the only suggestion was 3 weeks more of antibiotics. My question is, what is the underlying cause of ocular rosacea or Chilazens in general? The doctor said the oil is stuck in the gland, but I want to know why it keeps happening. Also, any recommendations? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, there are definitely recommendations. Ocular rosacea, honestly, fine. What does that even mean? What does it even mean, ocular rosacea? All they did was add eye or ocula to rosacea, skin-based rash. Now, we know regular rosacea is typically gut-related and partially autoimmune-based related. So whenever I see someone with rosacea, we're always working on candida overgrowth, yeast overgrowth, and often bacterial overgrowth. So that would be a great first place to start. And that lab, you could just run, even if you just ran one, it would be the bacteria and parasite stool test. You can find that at stevencabral.com/stool-test. So if you only ran one lab, that would be it. Second most important lab to run would be the Candida test. And I would actually just bundle that with the starter kit because it's such a great deal. So that's at stevencabral.com/labs. You'll find all the different labs there. Now, in terms of what can we do as a symptom while looking for the underlying root cause, yes, the glands can be blocked. There's just no doubt about that. The oil can build up. How do we help with that? Well, we need to look at an anti-inflammatory based diet, no doubt about it. We need to make sure your omega-6s are not higher than your omega-3s, that your arachidonic acid and your sterols, like your saturated fats, aren't necessarily more than your omega-3s. So we look at all of that. That's actually quite important. The hot compresses are nice. They can help, but I agree with you. Then there's certainly not going to be a resolution to this. What can help too, when you do get them or you get any type of sty, is colloidal silver. Not all colloidal silver is created equal. We carry a brand over at Equalife that you can search for. go to stephencabral.com/equilife. In the search box, type in nano silver, or just type in silver and you should find it. Or Sovereign Silver, I believe, is the brand. They make a spray. They make a liquid dropper. Put that, again, I can't give you medical recommendations, so I have to state that again from the beginning. I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm not providing any cures or any medical treatments, okay? This is just what I've seen work in my own life and in my practice for the past 25 years. So that's that. We use colloidal silver. I don't get many styes, conjunctivitis anymore, but I certainly did way back in the day when I was working in gyms. Now, I was touching my eye way too much. And then I was touching all different weights and equipment. And of course, thousands of other people use those. You get a little bacteria, you get a little virus, you get something in your eye. It's an issue. I wish I knew back then about colloidal silver. So basically, we use that 3 times a day if anybody were to get a stye, and it seems to work remarkably well. Now, if there's a blocked oil gland, like I said, look for a deeper underlying root cause. I hope that's helpful. Shari is up next. Hello, Dr. Cabral. I hope you're having a great day. Well, I hope you are as well. Thank you. I was wondering if you could help me with the following. I've been diagnosed with hypothyroidism, that means low thyroid, SIBO, that's bacterial overgrowth in the small intestine, and dysbiosis, that's typically more bad bacteria than good bacteria. I want to start treating them naturally. However, I'm wondering which came first, the thyroid or the gut problems. I feel that one probably caused the other. What are your thoughts about that, and which one should be treated first? Thank you so much for your podcast and everything that you do. And just FYI, I've just purchased the SIBO protocol, and I have a feeling that it will help me on my way to perfect health. Shari. All right, Shari, you wrote in on October 1st. It has to be, what is today's date? It's the 14th of November. So, hey, we've caught up a week, which is fantastic. So we're only 6 weeks behind. We were 7 weeks last week behind. So what I would say, Shari, is this, is that here's the nice thing. What came first? Interesting, right? Well, if you have a slower metabolic rate, you might have more sluggishness in the intestines. If you have more sluggishness in the intestines, that means you have slower bowel motility. If you have slower bowel motility, what that typically means is that there's more fermentation in the gut. So that could certainly have caused the SIBO or candida overgrowth, etc. All right. The second part is that if you have a lot of inflammation in your gut, that inflammation could affect overall stress levels. Those stress levels could certainly, and inflammation, affect your thyroid. All that's possible. We don't know. Well, again, we'll have never any idea which came first, but honestly, it doesn't matter. The second is that we don't treat anything, right? We're not treating anything. That's conventional medicine. What we're doing is rebalancing. We're looking at the underlying root causes. And the third part is this. You work on both at the same time. So a lot of people always say, I just want to work on this system. No, the whole body works together. If your thyroid is optimal, it's going to help your gut. If your gut is optimal, it's going to help your thyroid. And medical doctors, conventional medicine doctors, have a difficult time seeing how that interrelates. But honestly, it's not that wild. And I've explained it on, today's episode 2109. So in the past 2108 podcasts, I've talked about the central nervous system, inflammation, and how it is interrelated within the body. Anyway, most likely, if these are things that you have, you're going to begin the SIBO protocol with the citricidal drops. Then you'll do the SIBO finisher to help seal the gut. And at the same time, you'll probably be using daily thyroid support. You might be using Adrenal Soothe. You might be using magnesium. You're using the daily foundational protocol, level 2 or level 3. All of these are great things, and it helps the whole body. When the whole body is healthy, well, you're doing better overall. It's kind of like our friend Lindsey in the last question. One thing that would probably help her is doing the daily foundational protocol plus the immunity protocol, because styes are often caused by a weakened immune system as well. So keeping all of that in mind, we have to treat the body holistically. All right, Joanne is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. You can help. I've completed the full SIBO protocol. And while on the SIBO, by the way, if nobody knows what the SIBO is, if you're kind of new to this world, it's the Candida Bacteria Optimization Protocol. So basically, people with issues with their gut, they do this protocol. Typically, they're running the Candida Metabolic and Vitamins test, or the Bacterium Parasite Stool test, or a food sensitivity test, and it helps them rebalance their gut over a period of 12 weeks. And it works so well. We have thousands upon thousands of practitioners using it all over the world, and 10,000s of people completing it every single year to fix their gut. So that's that. Okay. You were taking vitamin C for histamines towards the end of the SIBO protocol, getting a lot of reflux. Now on the Heal and Sale, found vitamin C in anything with citrus like lemons causes tingling in my face and hands and now on the feet. I'm assuming it's due to low B12 and iron from stomach acids. Is it possible vitamin C straight ascorbic acid can cause low stomach acid or even push down B12? As I retest my HTMA, which is the minerals and metals test towards the end of the SIBO, and my cobalt was down to 0. Before SIBO was normal. All right, let's see what's going on here. So you've got some tingling, you've got some reflux, you have a return of SIBO due to low stomach acid, you believe. I'm a bit concerned about doing the GSE drops again. It's citrus. All right, okay. So I understand you're having gut issues, maybe low stomach acid, recurring issues with the gut, some reflux. You're also getting some tingling, maybe from the vitamin C. All right. So vitamin C is not citrus. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, you can get vitamin C from citrus if you're eating an orange or a grapefruit or citrus-based fruit. Citrus-based fruit is a great source of vitamin C. But when you take ascorbic acid, L-ascorbic acid, you're getting an extract of the whole vitamin C. L-ascorbic acid is often looked at as like the outside layer of vitamin C. Now, when you take that, not in a vacuum, people like to say, well, it doesn't work. Well, it does work. And also it works better because you're typically eating 2 or 3 meals per day, and there's hopefully going to be some vitamin C in your diet, right? But humans don't make their own vitamin C, so you need to get your own vitamin C. And if you like a food-based vitamin C, you can always use a product called full spectrum vitamin C, where you get the best of both worlds because there's acerola, hesperidin, etc. Okay. Anyway, so let's not blame one or the other. Vitamin C can be a little bit stronger in the stomach, but it's more acidic, which means it actually is not going to lower stomach acid. If anything, it would help improve, meaning like not improve stomach acid, but it would actually help improve digestion if you took it with a meal. Now, that doesn't count for alkalizing vitamin C, which is alkaline, because it's buffered with carbonate or bicarbonate-based products in there, which is your electrolytes. So let's take vitamin C out of the equation for a moment. If you take too much, you will often get maybe some loose stool, maybe some intestinal cramping, maybe some bloating. So I would reduce your vitamin C dosage to like 500 to 1,000 milligrams maximum at a time. Try that. You can also stop for 3 days and see if it goes away. And if it does, and you add the vitamin C back in and then the symptoms come back, okay, it's a vitamin C issue. So, we don't need to do as high of a dosage. Even the daily nutritional support every day comes with 400 milligrams. So you're still getting a decent amount if that's the only thing you do. Now, an easier form, albeit there's probably a little bit of histamines in it, no doubt about it. So if you have a histamine issue, the full spectrum vitamin C, which is whole food based, would be easy to take one at lunch, one at dinner if you wanted to, because then you get some at breakfast with your daily nutritional support, some at lunch, some at dinner. You get about 1.5 grams a day, and that's pretty phenomenal. That's what most people need. All right. So let's go back to the gut issues though. So if you're talking about grapeseed extract, that's different. We don't use grapeseed extract. We use citruscidal. Citruscidal is an extract of grapeseed extract. And there's no real, it's like phosphatidylserine, right? So phosphatidylserine is used to lower cortisol levels. It's pretty much best in its class. And it comes from soy, but there's no soy in it. It's an extract from a portion of soy, but it's not like eating soy. There's no soy in it, right? So it's not going to affect estrogen levels. It has no effect. It's an extract, which means if you take, let's just say, let's use this as an example. Let's say you have a big chain link, right? And that's essentially amino acids, all those things. Let's say you clipped off like 3 or 4 of those links. Well, that's what we're using. Again, we're not using all soy. We're using a clip of it. And the same goes with the citruscidal, which actually is not related anymore to grapefruit, right? It's a totally separate product. Again, choose to use it or don't. I can't give you any advice. I haven't seen any of your labs. I would honestly work with an integrative health practitioner or one of our Equal Life health coaches for the exact plan, and they'll be able to help you. I mean, we help people with this all the time. Kind of a long answer. I know it's not specific, but honestly, we have to help you get well, right? And so anything I give you right now from 10 lines of text is not going to do you justice. All right. Maria's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've been reading a lot about the benefits of plant protein and I've been trying to convert myself over to eating less animal protein. My ultimate goal would be maybe 5 animal protein meals a week instead of 14 I'm currently at. My problem is that I'm having a hard time adjusting to the fiber intake of beans, chickpeas, etc. After a meal with 1 cup of black beans or chickpeas, I have horrible gas and bloating. I've done the food sensitivity test and no lagoons showed up in sensitivities. So I'm guessing this reaction is all due to the fiber. How do you suggest I make the conversion? How long should it take for my body to get used to eating this much fiber? Side note, I have awful histamine issues that I'm currently addressing. So away from tofu because of high histamine level, currently on week 2 of the SIBO protocol. A lot of SIBO protocols here today. A lot of people with gut issues. But Maria, I think you're on the right track because honestly, this sounds like you may have a fermentation issue in the gut. I explained this in depth, and I know you wrote in on October 2nd. So I explained your exact answer right here. So it was on 2090 and 2091. So if you listen to both of those episodes, you will literally know exactly what you need to in your answer. And I would love other people to check out that show as well, because digestive issues have almost nothing to do with food sensitivities. And food sensitivities almost never show up as digestive issues. They are totally separate things. What you are reacting to is either the fiber or most likely the fructans in those specific things. And if I had to guess, it's the fructans, right? It's the fructose in those items that you're eating. That's most likely what it is. A lot of people would say lectins. I don't think so. I think it's the fructans because fructans are fermentable and that causes gas. So I think you're on the right track with the CBO protocol. Ease them in. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm about 5 animal protein per week, but some of that is fish, some of it is meat, and some of it's eggs, right? So it's kind of like I'm between 5 and 7 maximum a week. No more than 1 a day is typically what I'm doing. Not everybody has to do that. But again, I read the research so much. I really look at it. I'm just trying to err on the side of caution. I know that there's some sacrifice there because I'm sacrificing the ability to put on a little bit more muscle because honestly, it is easier. I'm being fair. It is easier to put on more muscle if you take in more meat. It just is. You could take in the same amount of plant-based protein. I'm going to do a podcast on this. It doesn't equal the same results, even if the protein's the same. And the reason is that meat is more anabolic. And again, that's like very easy to prove through cholesterol and growth hormone production and protein synthesis, et cetera. Anyway, that's that with that. Hopefully that was helpful. Beck is up next. Beck is saying, can you please give me insight into my eating pattern? Largely, I'm an extremely healthy eater, green juices, balanced meals, foundational supplements. I exercise, 3 liters water, midweek fasting days, don't take medications. I've done the Cabral 21-day detox, the intestinal cleanse, the liver cleanse. I need to understand the psychology of my binge eating on sugar. The desire for sugar generally occurs after a healthy meal, but if I sample sugar, it turns into a binge, uncontrollable. I'm unable to have a small portion. I don't understand the physiology, chemistry of my body that I'm so overwhelmed with sugar. When I'm with the social group and a platter is presented, cheese, crackers, I eat uncontrollably, even if I'm satiated prior or a meal is provided. I try to analyze whether it's nervous energy. Okay. Let's see what else. Drink fast. Again, in social scenarios, I drink quickly or replace some alcoholic beverages with sparkling water, offset the speed. I also used to be a social smoker. Okay, yeah, so I totally get it, totally understand. There's 2 parts to this. There's the actual neurotransmitter part, and then there's the gut part. So your gut, you're right, your body, that's your physiology affecting your psychology. And your psychology, because there could be issues around that, surrounding that, there's no doubt about it. I don't know you. I don't know your past. I don't know if there's any trauma. I don't know if there's anything there, because the psychology can affect your physiology as well, and that can affect your almost like insatiable appetite, right? So here's a thing to look at. I'm going to give you 2 pieces. One, those people that eat some sugar, and it really seems to affect them in terms of really wanting more and more, 2 parts of that. One, they could have a good amount of candida overgrowth. When yeast is fed sugar, simple sugar, your body reacts in a way from the yeast itself, which is living, to crave more of that. That is a definite possibility. So we've been talking a lot about the CBO protocol today, but for you could lab test first. So if you wanted to, you'd be someone that would most likely want to run that Candida metabolic and vitamins test, All the labs are at stevencabral.com/labs. But you may also want to be running the neurotransmitter test. And that is because sugar can also light up dopamine pathways in the brain, as well as other excitatory neurotransmitters, which makes you more high energy, a little bit more vata, a little bit more like go, 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 talking fast. So you want to look at that as well. And some people have a bigger issue, and I spoke about this as well in previous podcasts, so you can look this up with glutamate, right? So it's foods that also contain higher levels of glutamate, light up the brain, and not necessarily a positive way. So I would love you to check out those podcasts. You can just go to stevencabral.com/podcast and type in glutamate for those shows. All right, we're going a little long today. I apologize, but I want to make sure that I give everyone their answer that they're due. All right, last question of the day is from Anonymous. Anonymous writes in, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm a devoted listener and going through IHP level 1 right now, and I'm loving it. I researched my question, but I couldn't find an answer. Hoping you can help. My husband was recently diagnosed with gynecomastia. He's 6'1", 165 pounds, eats healthy, well-balanced, mostly organic. It takes in mineral. He had the minerals and metals test about 6 months ago, and the hormones test both pointed to his body being under a lot of stress, electrolyte depleted, cortisol high, and then low in the evening. His DHEA and testosterone were low. Estradiol was normal. We implemented the protocols given at the time by his practitioner, including taking DHEA for 12 weeks. The thing is, he is working on his sedentary lifestyle, getting moving, typically has a drink or two most evenings. That is helpful right there. He's decided to cut back on his coffee and alcohol intake. We were wondering what else could be the problem. Is estrogen dominance the problem? Should he take estrogen balance? Thanks so much. Okay. All right. Well, let's get this right out of the gates. He's 6'1", 165 pounds. So he's a little bit most likely under his ideal weight. If we look at that, definitely low on BMI. Most likely he's a lean individual, but he's definitely going to run a little bit more catabolic. So those hormone tests, the minerals and metals tests, they do work. They are true. They literally are, a beautiful set of science that reveals the data within your body. So we're definitely seeing someone that needs to be pushed more to the anabolic side. Testosterone and DHEA, when you're catabolic, are going to go lower and lower. The advice to give a little bit more DHEA is fine. I don't disagree with it, but I also want to make sure he's getting in enough protein each day, enough carbs each day, and enough healthy fat each day to begin to raise those levels. Now, what could cause, because there's an issue, right? There's an issue with your husband converting more testosterone to dihydrotestosterone or estrogen, which we don't want, because that's what leads to gynecomastia. Gynecomastia is basically men developing a little bit of swelling or enlarged breast tissue around their nipples. So what we want to do is just make sure he's not taking any high soy-based foods. We want to make sure that he is using a product like Estrogen Balance, which contains DIM. You don't need to take Estrogen Balance and DIM. Estrogen Balance contains DIM and I3C, so I think it's a great product to take, especially if he's using DHEA. Daily Foundational Protocol, level 2 or level 3, potentially adrenal soothe for his stress, potentially a little bit of magnesium, but I don't know how he was on his test. He might need CalMag or he might need magnesium based on the minerals and metals test, making sure he's getting a good night's sleep, and he has to clean up that nutrition and get rid of his alcohol. Has to. Maybe one night a week after he does a 3-week removal, then add that in once a week, but that alcohol can actually create a greater conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone or to estrogen. So, all right. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you. As always, thank you for the reviews of the podcast. If you haven't left a review, I would love you to do so on your favorite media player, iTunes, Google Play, whatever. I would really appreciate that. It means a lot. So thank you so much. I'll talk with you tomorrow on our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Thank you so much for tuning into today's show. And before you go, I want to make sure that you know we are back at Equilife with one of our most popular offers ever. For the past 3 years, we try to bring you many of our favorite products that maybe if you've never tried them before, you can get your hands on them for the great price of free. This allows a lot of people to, as I said, try out a product that maybe they're on the fence about purchasing or they've heard a lot about and they want to try it out for themselves. Well, I can tell you that most nutritional supplements are a bit prophylactic in nature, meaning that they are helping you, but you're not necessarily feeling it on a daily basis. The goal is over time, you're getting the benefits. So you're getting the benefits of keeping all of your vitamins and minerals and nutrients high while being able to detoxify on a daily basis. However, there are a few products, and activated B complex is one of them. When you take it, you actually feel the difference within hours to days maximum, and here's why. Many people are depleted of their B vitamins, and B vitamins are essential for energy, for detoxification, for their brain, memory, cognition, alleviating brain fog, and also helping to reduce stress. Plus, if you're not getting enough B complex vitamins in, you're not able to properly transform your carbohydrates into energy. So you may start to tend to gain more body weight, or you may not be able to process those carbohydrates as efficiently as energy for the mitochondria. So here's what I want you to do. Get your free bottle of activated B complex with all qualifying orders this week over at Equilife. It is a full methylated B complex. That means you're getting the B vitamins in the proper way that the body was meant to absorb them. So you're getting the methylcobalamin, the methylfolate, you're getting paradoxal 5-phosphate. So we're giving you all of your B vitamins. Plus, we are also adding in other B complex family members, such as what's called PABA and inositol, and even TMG, trimethylglycine, which helps with inflammation in the arteries, methylation for detoxification, and so much more. Again, I could go on and on about this product. Head on over to Equilife, learn more about it, and get your free bottle, which is a $30 value, completely free right now on all qualifying orders, and that includes international orders as well. Head to StephenCabral.com/Equilife for your free bottle today.